president. A bunch of us are here. We all helped. The administrators helped us out. Sam helped us out with donations. All the speakers, thank you to everyone who came. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to talk about Sagan, so just bear with me. Okay. So not only did Sagan popularize science, but he presented his work in a way. He presented his work and the works of the giants he stood on in a way that captivated his audiences and seamlessly introduced them to scientific concepts with a gracefulness that they understood and appreciated. He was born in Brooklyn, November 9th, 1934. In the last book he published, he tells a story about his parents taking him to the 1939 World's Fair. He considered the event to be one of the best days of his childhood, and he credits the exhibits there with sparking curiosity in him. From then on, it was telescopes and chemistry sets. The curiosity and excitement that enveloped him would persist until the end of his battle with pneumonia in December of 1996. Dr. Sagan knew better than most that it is the destiny of all living things to eventually cease. And we know from accounts of his wife and family that he met his final months with dignity and unwavering courage. By age 27, he had received a PhD in astronomy and astrophysics. And a decade later, he would become a full professor at Cornell University and also the director of the Laboratory for Planetary Studies, a title that he would hold until his death. Sagan was a pioneering figure in the American space program since its inception in the 1950s. He briefed the astronauts before their flights to the moon, and he was an experimenter on the Mariner, Viking, the Galileo, and the Voyager missions, the latter of which has just recently reached interstellar space on less memory than the iPhone in your pockets. It is destined to drift endlessly in the desolate abyss that is space until as long as humans exist. He helped unravel mysteries surrounding Venus, Mars, Titan, the largest of Saturn's moons, and Europa, one of Jupiter's many moons. During his lifetime, he received dozens of awards and medals and honorary degrees from respected and prestigious institutions. He was editor-in-chief of Icarus, the leading planetary research journal, for 12 years. In 1980, he co-founded and became the first president of the Planetary Society, of which Bill Nye is now the CEO of. Today, it is the largest space interest group in the world. He was an exceptional writer, authoring and co-authoring over 20 books spanning from extraterrestrial life to the evolution of Earth and human intelligence, and also nuclear winter and the fallacies and obsessions that society sometimes harbors in regards to pseudoscience. Okay. He won a Pulitzer Prize for his book titled Dragons of Eden, and another of his works, Cosmos, reigned supreme as the best-selling science book written in the English language, the contents of which are derived from what many consider to be his greatest legacy. The 13-episode series, Cosmos, A Personal Voyage, was released in 1980 and was masterminded by him and his wife, Anne Julian. With this show serving as his vehicle, he took us on a trip and served as our guide through the unimaginably tiny world of protons and nuclei to the incredibly immense world of galaxies and supernova. It has since been watched by over 500 million people in 60 different countries. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they'll never sit in. Throughout the evening, I implore you to keep an open mind and remain cognizant of the fact that science is more than a body of knowledge, it's a way of understanding. It's a systematic enterprise based on observations and experiments of the world around us. It's self-correcting in the sense that the scientific community constantly scrutinizes and tests proclamations which claim to be true. No one idea or figure is exempt from skepticism. In fact, most of the recognition in the world of science is awarded to those who disprove theories that have stood for hundreds of years. For example, we use Sir Isaac's law of gravitation for hundreds of years until Einstein came with his theory of relativity, and so we keep tweaking science. It's constantly getting more precise. Okay, but here we are today. I ran out of cards, so I guess that's the end of it. We we have some prizes. Some prizes.
Ooh.
Okay, so Prizes Day is officially started. Yes. I'll cross my fingers and hope the internet is working.
Go internet.
Okay.
Turn the lights on, please.
I like to be one of
Okay, and I need a young child up here.
Okay, actually, I have a list of science questions
Okay.
that Andrew helped me
Whoa.
make. All right, so some of the prizes are going to be awarded if you can answer some of these questions. Question one. Okay, this is the poster that we're going to get from this first question.
All right.
Galaxy, you are here.
Ooh.
There. Okay, so first question. What explodes to create a black hole? Okay, raise your hand, please. What explodes to create a black hole?
Okay.
Hey.
Yes, okay. Now, you want to your brother? You want to go ahead and finish your question?
Okay, yeah. One more question for this poster later. Okay, the question is, what is the
forget.
farthest man-made object from Earth?
Satellite?
Raise your hand. Yes, over there. Maybe sweater.
We are fine-tuning this section of the presentation.
You want the lights on?
Yes, please.
Probably a good idea.
Lights
So
on?
people can see. So we're going to begin. I'll read a piece from Cosmos, Sagan's book, from the chapter Who Speaks for Earth? Okay. The cosmos were discovered only yesterday. For a million years, it was clear to everyone that there were no other places than the Earth. Then, in the last tenth of a percent of the lifetime of our species, in the instant between Aristarchus and ourselves, we reluctantly noticed that we were not the center and purpose of the universe, but rather lived on a tiny and fragile world, lost in immensity and eternity, drifting in a great cosmic ocean, dotted here and there with 100 billion galaxies and a billion trillion stars. We have bravely tested the waters and have found the ocean to our liking, resonant with our nature. Something in us recognizes the cosmos as home. We are made of stellar ash. Our origin and evolution have been tied to distant cosmic events. The exploration of the cosmos is a voyage of self-discovery. Up next is Laura Weber, reading the second paragraph from this page, the first page from Who Speaks for Earth? Cosmos.
As the ancient myth-makers knew, we are the children equally of the sky and the earth. In our tenure on this planet, we've accumulated dangerous evolutionary baggage, hereditary propensities for aggression and ritual, submission to leaders and hostility to outsiders, which place our survival in some question. But we've also acquired compassion for others, love for our children and our children's children, a desire to learn from history, and a great soaring passion for intelligence, the clear tools for our continued survival and prosperity. Which aspects of our nature will prevail is uncertain, particularly when our vision and understanding and prospects are bound exclusively to the earth, or worse, to one small part of it. But up there in the immensity of the cosmos, an inescapable perspective awaits us. There are not yet any obvious signs of extraterrestrial intelligence, and this makes us wonder whether civilizations like ours always rush implacably, headlong towards self-destruction. National boundaries are not evidently view the earth from space. Fanatical ethic or religious or national chauvinisms are a little difficult to maintain when we see our planet as a fragile blue crescent, fading to become an inconspicuous point of light against the bastion and citadel of the stars. Travel is broadening.
And now we come to my part of the presentation. I am Darian Wells. Hello, thank you for coming out to Sagan Day. What I want to cool demo I saw on the internet actually, which describes the curvature of space-time. Now I have this big sheet over here. I don't know if you guys in fact can see this, so if you want to get up and move and over it, we can form like a ring around this.
Circle.
My circle. Yes, that is it. So, yeah.
Pokemon. This, their son.
Yes, this common household Pokeball represents our sun. Now, this sheet is a representation of the universe. Since we can't replicate the universe in 3 dimensions, we start with a flat 2-dimensional surface. Now, the universe is basically woven in a fabric. You have space and time. And space is all spatial around us. You have to have the two interwoven. Now, if an object has mass, it actually warps the space-time around it. Now, mass is different than weight. If you have the mass of, say, 100 grams on the moon, and you come to Earth, you will still have 100 grams. If you have the weight of 60 pounds on the moon, you will have an increased weight on Earth. I don't know the actual calculation, but that's due to 360.
Thank you.
Of course. And that's due to the actual atmosphere. Now, as we see here, our sun is actually warping this space-time around us, and so that we will demonstrate the curvature of space-time. Now, we have many planets. Okay, that's like, get those from that way. Let's do this way. Like, we have these many planets in our hands, so when we spin them around space, we see what happens. One of them flings off space, you see, and the others are actually caught in the gravity wells of this option, this dense, immense object in space.
If these marbles were
That's an
perfectly
orbit.
spheres,
See this one?
ellipses happen, but then
Yeah.
it's different.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
With the correct angles we get ellipses, circles, and orbits. This generally explains how, like say Earth, this planet itself is orbiting the sun, and it's perfect. It's perfect. What you call it? See, and these are comets. Now, I do have a few more of these icy comets. I call them planets. Would anyone like to? Okay, we have our first. There you go. Okay. Is
Somebody right here.
yeah. If we can pass. Yeah.
Here you go. There you go. Stand up and you can throw it around.
Interesting
Throw it
point.
like this, yeah. Like,
Kate
throw it
brought
around.
up, or no, Laura.
Laura.
I'm so sorry, Laura. Well, give her a minute.
Oh, okay.
Good
Oh,
job.
there you go. Yeah, it's Laura's bringing up how the immense density of a black hole can actually rip the fabric of space-time. So if you imagine this weighted ball, if it was a ton and just fell through the floor and down into like China or something, obviously these.
It would pull it so much that it wouldn't just create a dip in space-time, it would create an actual hole, and that's where we get our black holes. And those are ugly things.
You get caught in them in the event horizon and you're forever circling
Okay.
until you.
All right, here we go.
Up.
That's a comet.
Yep.
It's alive.
It is alive. It's an alien.
Okay.
Come to us now.
Of intelligent life.
Oh, so close.
I got 10 on the sphere.
Okay.
Also, space-time isn't actually linear.
Yeah, it's. I would say it's invisible.
Well, of
color.
course, it depends on the fabric, too.
Yeah. Now, that is our demonstration. Is there any questions? Oh, there we go.
Oh, by the way, it's not a perfect sphere.
Yes.
Neither is that.
Now they are.
I guess I have a question. So if there's a black hole and it's like sucking space into it, I guess I feel like this is a really dumb question. So is like, how come the planets don't go into the black hole? If the black hole is created by a star exploding, then what if one of the stars were to explode around us? Wouldn't that create a black hole? Would the gravity, like, would the black hole suck us into it?
Actually,
We would just
well, if a star were to go red giant and supernova and create a black hole near our vicinity, yes, then I would assume we would be getting pulled in.
Yeah.
Okay, may I try?
Of
Yes.
course, yeah.
Yes, Dr.
Actually, I think what happens, black holes are created by collapsing stars. When a star collapses on its own gravity, its radius becomes smaller than what's called Schwarzschild radius, beyond which nothing can leave that area. So black holes essentially is a massive gravity. And what will happen is that anything that gets anywhere near it, the difference between gravity forces between two different points would be such that the object would actually be stretched by the gravity.
Okay, so we wouldn't be sucked into the black hole.
Yes, we would, and that's sucked in black hole.
So, okay.
Yes, everything gets sucked in black hole, but you see, black hole is basically a gravity object. The standard Newton's law of gravity would apply, and there would be orbits around it, but not too close, as long as it's not too close.
Okay.
See, there is a belief, for example, that at the center of some galaxies there is a black hole.
Actually, yes.
I have a question. I have a question about the black hole theory. The reason, well, could we see it, or could there be visible proof to back it up?
No.
Or would the dark
In
matter
order for
be
us to
responsible?
see something, it has to emit light.
Oh, I see.
Black holes do not emit anything,
So
so
we-
no, we can only infer its existence by looking at the pattern around it.
Could we infer that the dark matter is the one responsible for it, since it's supposed to be heavier?
Nobody really knows what the dark matter is as of now.
Okay.
So the answer to your question is maybe.
Maybe.
And actually, when it comes to cosmology, the answer to a lot of questions at this point is maybe.
That sounds like
That is a good
Could.
thing of dark matter. It's
Could.
propulsion of the galaxy.
I'm a student of Dr. Carl Sagan himself, so Dr. Gary Goodman. Thank you for coming. I'm only one of the guest lecturers. I taught astronomy here at Oxnard College for 12 years, and now I substitute teach for the current teacher, Dale Sinnis, when as needed. He's in the Navy, and so I'll be teaching here for the next 5 classes in both the lab and in the lecture. But before I start, I want to mention a Dr. Lawrence Klein. He is a man who won a Nobel Prize in economic sciences in 1980. The amazing thing is, he started his college education at Los Angeles City College, one of California's community colleges. He went on to win the Nobel Prize. You students who are here are at a community college. There's no upper limit for you. You continue on, who knows, maybe one of these days you could be an astronaut, you could be a Nobel Prize winner, you might be a famous author like Carl Sagan, whatever. Anyway, Carl Sagan was one of my teachers. I was very fortunate to have him in 1971, and he was a very dynamic, excellent teacher. Let me see how this thing works, make sure I get it in the right direction. Okay, I'm going to start off with a few quotes from Carl Sagan. There are many quotes, but Carl Sagan was a staunch believer that the galaxy held many intelligent life. Well, let's take a look at what he said. Who are we? We find that we live on an insignificant planet, a humdrum star lost in a galaxy tucked away in some forgotten corner of the universe in which there are far more galaxies than people. How many people do we have on Earth? 7 billion. There's at least 40 billion to 100 billion galaxies out there. So let's take a look at this next, at another point. There are some 100 billion galaxies, each with, on the average, 100 billion stars. That's 10 to the 11th, times 10 to the 11th, or 10 to the 22, 10 billion trillion. In the face of such overpowering numbers, what is the likelihood that only one ordinary star, the
sun is accompanied by an inhabited planet. When I was a kid, I used to go out and look up at the stars and wonder if anyone was looking down at us. Here's the third and last quote that I have of him. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Is it? Yes. Settled? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. We have some big questions facing us.
Do you have a window 98? All right. All right. Next name? All right, come on. Okay. All right. Pierre Hanan. All right. Okay, one more. How about
Dr. Goodman.
Of course it's all right. I'm not controlling this thing. I'm just 80.
What's the power? What's the times? What's the strength?
Magnification.
Yeah, what's the magnification on this?
Well, that is so much to figure out the magnification.
You figure out
You got the aperture. and,
figure
like,
out the focal length of the telescope. It's 55 inches. Multiply that by 25.4. It comes up with about 1390, I believe.
Wow.
Divide it by 10 for the eyepiece. You divide it by the focal length of the eyepiece. That's probably about 140.
Oh wow.
Here,